Alright guys, we're back with another build video. This one is going to be a new axe build. I haven't done an axe build except the Undying axe builds recently. This is a take on the striker build we posted well, let's see, Monday. This video is probably going to Tuesday or Wednesday, but this is going to be a variation of the striker build that we already did, but this one is going to be a focus on axe. Now, with this build, you really don't need to actually attack with your axe. That's kind of the fun thing about this build is you can do it as a throwing and ranged build, or you can get in there and get dirty with the build a little bit. But the fun thing about the build is you're just going to run through escalations at level, above level, whatever. Great leveling build, just like the striker build. And that's kind of what we're going for with this series of builds. This will get you a nice little taste of how Revenant works if you're an axe user and you kind of got a little curious about it with the striker build. That being said, we are going to be doing updated videos on the striker build with more variations and stuff. You'll see some of the variations that we came up with while playtesting the striker build a little bit more. You can really run that build with about 4 different weapons depending on the playstyle you want to achieve. So let's go ahead and jump down to the game and check out what we're doing with this build now. So for the axe variation, my kind of go-to strategy right now is going with the Earth legendary weapon. This is going to be bonded to the Koshai weapon, which is giving us some cool effects. Part of the thing with the Koshai is if you haven't done damage in 4 seconds, your next 2 attacks are going to deal 50% more damage. So that means 2 hits with Revenant or your axe throw are going to get boosted from this. That's pretty nice right there. For the mod, we're going with the overcharged cylinder, so we can stack up to 75% bonus damage with that. Grim Onslaught, because Grim Onslaught or get the fuck out. We're going with Cunning on the weapon, 2 stacks right there to get the crit chance and crit damage off of there. We're going with Revenant. You can change this to whichever flavor of damage lantern you want. I prefer Pengars. We're going with Energize so we can get up to that 75 stacks pretty quick during a solo run of escalation. You'll have to get some charged attacks in there too, and not just rely on Revenant and your axe throw ability, or Grim Onslaught in this case. Now, some things we've changed up in this build. We're still using Gnashers with the +3 tough to get our +6 tough. We're still using Chronovore's Treads with the +3 pulse to get our +6 pulse. And we're still using Malkarions here with the +3 Predator to get the +6 Predator. So what we're getting with the build is +6 Cunning, +6 Predator, +6 pulse, +6 Sharpen, so you get that dodge, throw your axe and get some big damage out there. Tough, so we can do multiple taps of Revenant without having to wait for the cooldown and get our health back. Energize, and then this +3 Rage is just kind of chilling here because we decided it would be fun to put Tragic Echo in this build. So upon dying, you become a shadow clone that deals 100% damage for the next 15 seconds. It resets after 5 minutes or you killing a behemoth. Now, we tried this out with Strikers. It was fun with Striker. But if you end up getting a triple tap on your Revenant, basically activating Revenant 3 times before the health regen comes back, but you haven't thrown your axe, or your axe is off cooldown or about to be off cooldown, you can take the dive, pop back up with Tragic Echo, get the 100% damage modifier off that. If you get a quick dodge in, 100% more damage from the Sharpened, plus the 30% from Sharpen, so you're at like a 230% total modifier here. And I know the math isn't going to be exactly 230%, but we're just going to add up all the damage that's stacking up on this. So 130% there, plus you're getting the damage bonus from the Koshai, because it takes about 3 seconds for that animation of you resurrecting. So you should be getting the 50th there. So you're at 280% worth of damage modifiers there. All from that, all from just taking a dive and then throwing your axe. And I think that was including or not including the 75% modifier from charging up your weapon. So you're getting a lot of modifiers on the axe throw. And because we're using the Earth legendary weapon here, or the Terra legendary weapon here, we can just activate the G key to get back up. finish off the behemoth, and you've got a whole nother stack of that to go. So this build definitely tears through the escalations solo. It'll tear through the escalations in group play. When you were doing it solo, I just ran a couple runs of this with the 10 to 50 frost escalation, and I managed to take out one behemoth in 2 revenants and an axe throw pretty much. And that left me with another tap of revenant to start off the other behemoth, which was pretty much an instant part break on that behemoth after a dodge, and set me up to have enough time to regenerate from my revenant, or just to take a quick dive, get back up with the tragic echo, get another axe throw in, and start my revenant chain. Well, probably not start my revenant chain, but resurrect myself with the axe and then start a revenant chain that could lead into another tragic echo at some point. So if you guys have any questions about this build, I can answer those in our next live stream this weekend, or leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have about this build. But for the bonuses, we get the +6 cunning, which is giving us 3% critical strike chance and 30% critical strike damage, which is playing off of the every 5th hit of your weapon is a critical strike with a 15% critical strike modifier on that. Predator giving us 35% bonus damage if we haven't taken damage in 15 seconds. Sharpen with a 30% part damage plus 100% extra part damage if within 5 seconds on your next attack after getting a dodge roll. Tough, which is giving us the 500 extra health, getting us up to 1600 hit points, plus giving us 50% increased healing from all sources, which means we just recover quicker from Revenant once the cooldown wears off and we start regenning from those umbral orbs. And then Energize is giving us a little bit extra weapon charge rate, and Rage to kind of counterbalance if we get hit from Predator. Predator is giving us 35% damage if we haven't been hit in 15 seconds, whereas once every 30 seconds we'll deal an additional 20 damage for 15 seconds. +6 Rage would really helps balance out Predator and keep kind of not losing all your damage from Predator on hit, but we're really only taking the Rage in this case because we're taking Tragic Echo for the shenanigans. I'm going to be doing a lot more playtesting on this variation of the build, including some other weapon testing with this build, maybe going with Chronovore's weapon instead of the AoE res weapon in this case, being able to do that time rewind for the self-res with that. Malkarion's also always one of my favorite choices for builds like this, because if we're going for speed runs, being able to do that gap close with the G-tap on the Malkarion weapon is just phenomenal. So some things to keep in mind there, some other build options. Most of those build options will require you to switch between Chronovore's feet and either switch between Chronovore or Thrax's feet, depending on the weapon you're using. If you're using Malkarion's bonded to Savit's, you'll want to be using Thrax's feet to give you the cunning there. And if you're working with something like the Chronovore weapon that's giving you cunning on it, you'll want to use the Chronovore treads to get the pulse there, because you'll already have cunning stacking up on the weapon. So just a couple variations of the build right there that you can play around with. I'm using Pangar's Lantern even in the Frost escalation because I think it has the best steady, constant damage output if the behemoth happens to reposition or something like that. So some things to keep in mind, guys, and I hope you enjoy the build if you guys could get a chance to test it out. If not, check it out this weekend live on stream right here on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one.